Hi, my name is Jay Jenkins. I'm with Pearson Education, and in this video I'm going to walk you through using Gaddis C++ inside of REVEL. If you've used REVEL in the past, then you know how to create a course, but just in case, I've already created a course, but what you would do the first time is you would come to Search Materials, and you would just type in the author name, so write in Gaddis. And then you'll notice a couple items come up. So they're starting out with C++ or starting out with Java. And you just choose the course that you would like. And so from here, and then you click Create Course. Once you click Create Course, you then have the option to actually enter information on the title of the course, and then you could change any of your affiliations, choose the start date, choose the end date, choose whether or not the course meets at certain times when you want assignments to show up and be disappear, as well as if you just wanted to keep it open and have no specific days, just choose this button. And then you would choose Save, and then the course would be created. So I'm going to go back to my courses, and we can see here's my Gaddis course right here. And I'm going to go ahead and before we click into it, I'm just going to mention a couple other things. The REVEL for Gaddis C++ delivers basically a digital and immersive learning experience, and it seamlessly combines the text content with videos, animations, and assignable programming practice for your students. Now, for your students to get into the course, you want to click the Invite Students link, which will then give you information. You can either just send a link to them, or you could actually copy the entire instructions right here, and you could post them in an LMS, or you could shoot them out an email, or you could print this out and hand it to them in class. So any way you would like to deliver it, but this is how students will enroll in your specific course. They will need this information, specifically this link. Okay, let's go back. And again, we found that right at the bottom of the course once the course is created under Invite Students. Once students start to populate the course, you can quickly see who has populated it by checking out the roster here underneath Course Options. If you needed to go back and change some dates or things like that or the name of the course, you can do that under Settings. So if I went to Settings and I wanted to add a section code, I could say Spring 19 Section 1, or I'll just say Section A. You could also delete the course if you wanted to, and so forth. So I'm just going to hit Save. And there we go. I've done that. And now once we're ready to go into the actual course, we will click the course name. And the first time you come in here, you'll get the Start Creating Assignments area here, and you can start to work within the course. I'm going to go ahead and hit Get Started. And I'm going to increase my screen size a little bit. There we go, so we can see it. And I'm going to work within Chapter 5 today. So I'm going to go look at Chapter 5. I specifically want to look at Chapter 5, Introduction to Loops. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and take a look at this. And I can see this is the e-text, and I can see we start with a concept. As I scroll down, I can see there's a video note that I can play here.
A loop causes one or more statements to repeat in a program. In C++, you can use the while loop to repeat one or more statements as long as a Boolean expression is true. This is the general format of how you write a while loop that controls the repetition of only one statement. The expression.
So as you can see, these are the interactives, a little video note here, and you can see that everything that is happening will actually integrate and is to do with the content that is inside of the actual e-text. Now what we know is that unfortunately students don't show up to class having read the material often or interacted with it. So the nice thing about the REVEL program is that it does encourage students to interact with the content. So not only are they here to read, but they're really here to read a little bit and then do a little bit. Okay, and so there's the video loop here, and then as we scroll down, we'll also see that we have the figures, and of course all of the The items here are hyperlinked, or are showing them expressions and statements, what's important to them. And as you scroll down, then we'll run into an animation, and they can start the animation. And we can see step by step how it takes them through this statement, giving the variables, the explanation, and what the output will be. And it goes through all the steps. And then, of course, we can always reset it and do it again, or we can go backwards. So I know students always struggle with, how the concepts come into context, and they also worry about, what's happening. Do I understand this? So basically, what we're trying to do with the animation is really take them through and execute the program step by step, and we can really show how the loop works visually. And provide the context as to what's going to happen. And so each click, of course, walks them through the code. It provides the explanation, and then they can always restart it and reset it. So as we continue down the REVEL product, we can scroll down and continue into the sections. So here's a figure for 5.2. Figure for 5.3, and then what you'll come across are live code examples. And so inside of these live code examples, which accompany the list, this enables students to write the code and run a program within REVEL. So the students are prompted, with areas to modify the code, run the program, observe what happens with their code when they do that. And so inside of this one, which is 5.2. I could do something like I could click into 5 and let's say, how would I like to change? Let's change this. Instead of going with 5, let's change this to 10. And then we'll hit compile and run. And then as we can see, here's what happens down below is I love the code, I love the code, I love the code. Did it 10 times. Now if we come back up here, go back to 8, compile, run. Now you can see it's been changed to there. So this really shows that you can edit the code, compile it, and then run it. And we've heard that this is extremely helpful for students to understand what's happening and to really get in there and ease their way into the practice. So after they're done here working within this live code example, they can of course scroll down. And what we find mostly is that we really want to enhance the fact students need to understand what they just read, what they just did. And so what they'll come across inside of the REVEL product will be the interactive questions, where they come to a checkpoint, and this is a control structure. It causes a statement of group, and they need to answer the actual questions. And let's see if they understand it. So let's say this is a loop. Correct. Excellent. Let's go to next. And then they can always reset it if they didn't get it correctly, and they can move on. So the next question down below would be a quick true-false one. And I could just say, let's say false. And it's going to say, nope, it's incorrect. And then I can try it again. Try again. And I could get it correct this time. And I can continue. And again, these are really just meant to make sure that the student does in fact understand what is happening inside of the material that they are reading and interacting with. Okay, I'm going to say an iteration and get it right. Say click. Perfect. Now once we're done with this particular area, we can navigate through the rest of the course. And it goes over the while loop, which is the pretest loop, and then we continue through to infinite loops, and then braces with a block of statements, goes over that information, and then programming style, and we can scroll all the way through until we get to the end of chapter questions. And so every section ends with a quiz. And so the point of this is that we want to give you, the instructor, the ability to assign and grade the programming exercises. And so students, can experience the power practice as they work through the coding assignments and receive immediate personalized feedback. And so let's take a look at these right now. So I'm going to go ahead and click Start. And let's see. Given that let's take a look at this one. All right, I'm going to put in this code here. Let's submit this. So as you can see on my first attempt, getting some feedback, there was a code analysis compiler error. We think you might want to consider using ++. Solutions with your approach don't usually use plus. So let me see here. I'm going to try a couple things here. I'm going to change some things out. Let's see. All right, let's do this. And then I'm going to try this one. Let's submit this. Again, it's going to give me the feedback, the compiler error. So I'm going to go back in now. And let's put the plus. And then submit that. And we got it correct. And now we see the suggested solutions and that we got it correct. We can see our previous submissions if we'd like to. But this is where we can actually give the students the ability to work within the programming language and make sure that they understand how to work within the language itself. And of course, these items are assignable, so you could always go in and assign these particular items. And if we're going to assign things, that brings us to the performance gradebook. So I'm going to just bring us back to the course. And because we do not have an actual gradebook with data, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a link to a video where you can watch how the performance dashboard behaves, and you can look at how you can see common misconceptions, where your students are struggling the most, and of course where you can go in and look at individual students and you can see some early alerts to find out where they're struggling and to address those. So I will send you that video so you can watch that YouTube as well. You can also go to YouTube on your own and search Pearson REVEL Performance Dashboard, and that video will come right up so that you can look at that particular video. There's also one down here about tracking overall course performance as well that you can take a look at. In conclusion, I hope that you feel that these interactive coding examples, the video notes, the exercises will all help your students engage more with the course content. And that you would assign these. Also, hopefully you'll see that students do go through the process of reading a little, then doing a little, in order to make sure that they are continuously engaged in the content. Obviously, if you have more questions, please reach out to your Pearson rep, and we will continue to address any of your questions and your needs. Thank you for your time. And I hope you had a great day.